In this video, we pay tribute to the celebrities who tragically passed away today. Join us as we remember their incredible contributions to the entertainment industry and the impact they had on our lives. From legendary actors to renowned musicians, this video is a heartfelt acknowledgement of their talent and legacy. Stay tuned as we honor these beloved stars and reflect on their extraordinary careers.
Jeg elsker kød, og jeg spiser tonsvis.
Johnny Matson. He was a Danish artist known for his work as a musician, songwriter, and painter. Between 1983 and 1992, he was a member of Dalton, a musical trio that also included Madsen, Lars Lilholt, and Allan Olsen. Johnny Matson resided on the island of Fano, where he ran his own art gallery, Madsens Malerier. Additionally, he was involved with the band Hobo Expressen. Johnny Matson started playing in local orchestras around NR Nissum Seminary. In the mid-1970s, he became a member of the folk music group Rum La Quadrillon, which released 3 albums. Towards the end of the decade, he was in a bluegrass band called La Porta Band, which also released an album. Alongside his own career, Johnny Matson, together with Peter Belly, Nana and Billy Cross, was part of the group Hobo Expressen, which in 1989 had a nice hit with the number 1 To Become Like. He also toured for periods with Allan Olsen and Lars Lilholt as the trio Dalton, which released 3 albums, Dalton in 1992, 2010 and 2009, and the live album Dalton Was Here in 2010. In addition to his music career, Johnny Matson painted from a very young age, and he eventually also achieved quite a good name within this art form. His pictures are inspired by expressionists such as Vincent van Gogh and Jens Sondergaard. He was born March 31, 1951. He passed away on November 4, 2024, at the age of 73. No cause of death was given.
And the original girl, the girl who's been sitting as a judge,
Kiki Hackinson. She was a Swedish model and beauty queen who was the first winner of the Miss World beauty pageant, after being crowned Miss Sweden World in 1951. Originally the festival bikini contest, Miss World was organized by Eric Morley as a mid-century advertisement for swimwear at the Festival of Britain. Hackinson wore a bikini during the crowning ritual, after which she was condemned by the Pope, and some countries with strong religious traditions threatened to withdraw delegates. In 1952, bikinis were banned from the pageant and replaced with more modest swimwear. While bikinis were eventually reintroduced to Miss World, Hackinson remains the only winner to have received her crown while wearing a bikini. Born in London on June 17, 1929. Her death was confirmed by Miss World on their official Instagram page. The first Miss World, Kiki Hackinson from Sweden, passed away peacefully on Monday, November 4th, at her home in California. She was 95. Kiki passed away in her sleep, and according to her children, she went peacefully, comfortably, and well taken care of.
Trying to up my steps.
Kathleen McGee. She was a Canadian stand-up comedian from Edmonton, Alberta. Her performance at the Winnipeg Comedy Festival was nominated for a 2019 Canadian Comedy Award. Her debut full-length album, 2019's Deliciously Vulgar, was produced by Grammy winner Dan Schlissel for his label Stand Up Records. McGee started performing stand-up comedy in Edmonton in 2005 after a bad breakup, and quickly became known for her provocative, bawdy and sometimes sexually explicit material, winning the annual Funniest Person with a Day Job competition in 2008 at Edmonton Club The Comic Strip. She lived for several years in Vancouver, Toronto, and Los Angeles to advance her career, but by 2018 had settled back in Edmonton. In 2017, she was a finalist in the SiriusXM competition Canada's Top Comic. She was a regular columnist for Canadian magazine Beat Route in 2015, writing the series Been There Done That, Questionable Advice from a Comedian. In 2016, she was a headliner in the touring show Rape is Real and Everywhere, in which all the comedians were also survivors of sexual abuse. She has been a guest panelist twice on the CBC radio comedy series The Debaters. Since 2019, she has co-hosted the Dead Baby Bear podcast with Canadian comic Sean Lecumber. Previously, she hosted Kathleen McGee as a Hot Mess, which ran for 89 episodes and ended in 2018. McGee was nominated for a 2019 Canadian Comedy Award in the Best Taped Live Performance category for her show Hot Mess, recorded at the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. She was born April 5, 1981. McGee was diagnosed with colorectal cancer in 2022. While she was considered cleared at one point, the cancer later spread to her liver, abdomen and behind her aorta. She died at the age of 43 on November 3, 2024.
I got the seeds from a Japanese gardener over on Central Avenue.
Jonathan Haze. He was an American actor, producer and screenwriter. He is best known for his work in Roger Corman films, especially the 1960 black comedy cult classic The Little Shop of Horrors, in which he played florist's assistant Seymour Krelboyne. Haze was working at a gas station in California when he was discovered by Wyatt Ordung. Ordung was directing the movie Monster from the Ocean Floor 1954, which was being produced by Corman, and offered a small part to Haze. Corman, 3 years Haze's senior, was impressed and cast Haze in many of his films over the next 10 years, including Apache Woman 1955, Day the World Ended and others. Haze appeared in non-Corman films, such as Bayou 1957, Stakeout on Dope Street, Ghost of the China Sea, and Forbidden Island, 1959. In 1959, Haze guest starred in the episode Terror Town of NBC's Western television series Cimarron City, starring George Montgomery. In 1957, Haze sold his first screenplay to Ararat Productions. Titled The Monster of Nicholson Mesa, the film was a parody of horror films. He wrote the 1962 science fiction comedy film Invasion of the Star Creatures. He also worked in production for such films as Premature Burial, The Terror, 1963, Medium Cool, Another Nice Mess, and Corman's own The Born Losers, 1967. Haze was married to costume designer Roberta Keith from the mid-1960s until 1981, and they had 2 daughters. He was born April 1, 1929. Haze died at his home in Los Angeles on November 2, 2024, at the age of 95. John Dempsey. He was a professional footballer who played as a center back. He played for Fulham and Chelsea in the 1960s and 1970s, before moving to the United States to join Philadelphia Fury. He ended his career after a stint in Ireland with Dundalk. Born in England, he represented the Republic of Ireland national team at international level, starting his career with Fulham, making his debut in 1963 in 149 appearances over 6 years. Dempsey was signed for West London rivals Chelsea by Dave Sexton in January 1969 for £70,000. He made his Chelsea debut against Southampton in February that year and established himself in the side for the remainder of the 1968 season. He was born March 15, 1946. Dempsey died on November 6, 2024, at the age of 78.